We are kicking off our capital campaign for the next 3 years, a place to belong, believe, and become, and thinking about the wonderful ministries that God makes happen here at Good Shepherd. So I'd like to invite Kathy and Nate to come forward at this time and to share some of their experiences with us.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Kathy Hansen, and I'm here to tell you today a little bit about how the renovations here at the church have impacted me and what I do for Good Shepherd. Before I dive into that, I just want to share a little bit about myself and my family. My husband, Nick, and I became members of Good Shepherd in 2009, so shortly after we moved to Plainview. Both of our sons, Logan, who's now 10, and Bryce, who is 7, have both been baptized here. When we first started coming to the church, we were regular goers, but then as our 2 boys got older, both of them have actually been diagnosed with ADHD. And we kind of struggled on how to attend those church services when you have 2 very active boys who are not as great at sitting still and paying attention and listening throughout a service. So kind of tapered off what we were doing here at the church. Shortly after Pastor Krista came in, Lynn, who is the church secretary, encouraged us to come and meet with her. And we had a very understanding conversation and learned some of her own personal stories, and we felt comfortable coming on back to Good Shepherd. So that fall, Carol, who is in charge of the Sunday school program, she was looking for additional teachers, and my background is in training and development, so it was a good fit. And at that time, the 3rd graders needed a teacher, and my son was in 3rd grade, so it ended up working out. So I've been teaching now Sunday school, the 3rd grade classroom, for 2 years. When I first started, we were back in the back corner of the reception area around the corner. And at the time I started, we had the accordion doors in between the classrooms, and we had the kind of the roll around walls. And although that was helpful, it didn't dampen all the sound. I mean, if it's hard enough to try to keep the attention span of a 3rd grader without them hearing all of the other classrooms, without seeing the other classrooms. So we were constantly competing against what else was going on in the room. With that said, this year has been a tremendous help. We now have walls. The 3rd grade class is a really large class this year. On a good day, we have 12 if not more students just in 3rd grade alone. So having the ability to shut a door to not only drown out the noise out there, but really to keep our sound in is so amazing. Another really great thing is I use a tool, a projector that actually hooks up to my phone, and I like to project videos, Bible stories, songs. And last year, I couldn't do that. There was no light switch. I couldn't turn off the lights. There was no way to kind of stop the sound if I wanted to use that. This year, we have used it a handful of times. We've done many things with it. Right after our Christmas program this last year, our 3rd graders actually listened to a hymnal using that projector and sang along with it. And if my phone hadn't been being used, I would have videotaped that, because it was just so angelic. All these 3rd graders singing along with it was just awesome. And had it not been for the money raised for this renovation, had it not been for these individual rooms, we wouldn't be sharing those moments. We wouldn't be having that. So hopefully what I'm trying to convey is thank you from all the teachers, because this has made a really huge difference. So thank you.
That's always a tough one to follow. I had to follow her after first service. She has it written down. I'm more of a wing it kind of guy. I thought maybe she'd tone it down a little bit, but she didn't. So here we go. Once again, I really want to thank everybody for their support. Oh, by the way, my name is Nate Filesticker. My wife and I have been attending here for about 15 years. We have 3 kids, Nolan, Isaac, and Evie, and they range from 5 to 12. Evie is usually the one that plays ukulele. She'll be cantering. Nolan is acolyting this morning, and Ike is sitting on Grandpa's lap over there. So there he is. So we've come to really enjoy this church, and again, we want to make sure that we thank everyone for the wonderful opportunities this building project has provided. It could not have been done without the generous support of this congregation. This is one of the most giving and supportive congregations that I have ever seen. I know that now that I am a mentor for confirmation, those classrooms are being put to very good use. We're able to divide up the kids, divide up the groups, and get them in there in these small groups and actually talk to them. And we could talk about more in-depth things without having to worry about everyone hearing your conversation. The 8th graders are in a group, the 7th grade girls, the 7th grade boys. I usually have the 7th grade boys, and in between me saying, "Get off the table," we usually have some pretty good conversations. I know my wife is now teaching Sunday school, and she says that it's amazing the difference that those classrooms make, and they were a huge part of expanding our ministry. Another thing is our area in the front, or opening our gathering space. Evie's also in Just for Kicks, and it is amazing seeing the interactions that take place on those weeknights with those kids, and they finally have a nice space where they can get out and they can move around. I don't think enough people in this congregation realize how often this church is actually used throughout the week. It is used a lot. You know, with Just for Kicks, and then now that I'm more involved, I'm here on Wednesday nights again as a mentor, and we have the soup suppers, and we have the Advent services and the Lent services. This church is really used 6 to 7 days a week, very consistently. So it was because of your support that we were able to actually open this up and give back to our community, to give them a building like this. And it was your support that made it possible. I can't tell you how much I like or really love this congregation. It's awesome to see. I'm looking around today and I'm seeing grandparents sitting with kids, sitting with grandkids. I see the whole Weinert clan is here, and every time I see Don and Deb walk through the door, I just keep thinking, sweet, the reinforcements made it. And it's the truth. When you can come to church as a family, and this is a very family-oriented congregation, it's amazing what we can accomplish. And when we come together, we accomplish great things. And for that, I am truly thankful. And again, I want to thank you all for contributing to this project. We do have another kickoff that's going to be coming around soon. So please consider, at the very least, doing what you did before, if not more. If we can do that, we will meet our goals, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you both.